Welcome to the bad and the ugly of the Ecoflow Smart Home Panel 2 and the Delta Pro Ultra. Alright, first things first. This is what it takes to power my house. 8 batteries, 2 inverters. And this is barely enough in the summertime. Now, in the fall and the spring, it's a little too much. I could probably get away with 1 battery rack, but you still really need 2 inverters, especially if you're going to have a 220 outlet, because it overloads just the 1 inverter. So if you're going to have a 220, you definitely need 2 inverters, but it's just a rabbit hole. This is what it takes to get down to zero, almost zero. My central air is not on this system. Everything else, the rest of my house is, or I should say 95% of my house is on the system. So the bad, these things are about 75 to 80% efficiency. The rest is dissipated into heat, mechanical energy, mechanical loss. So out of the 4 batteries, 1 whole battery is basically poof, up in smoke. How do I get that number? It's pretty simple. I love the Ecoflow app. You start with going to battery. It says I discharged on the battery 176 kilowatt hours. And then I go to solar generation for the same time period. And that's 224, which comes about, if you divide the two together, it's about 78% efficiency for the month of September so far. This is very thick steel, and the holes were very difficult to do. Furthermore, you get all the shavings inside the panel, which now you have to worry about it, but it's definitely not DIY friendly. On the plus side, I think, drilling your own holes is what makes it watertight, or, whatever IP rating it might have. Furthermore, the holes are only available in certain spots. You can't drill them wherever you want. You can't drill them here. There's a couple spots on the bottom, on the top, and then on the back, but it's not drill and go. The panel has a safety switch in this upper right hand corner. That right there is the safety kill switch corner. So if the face of the panel is not on, it will not work. Commissioning this panel, you have to commission it before first use. So this is a standard bus bar. This is what we use here in America. I say that because the panel is from Japan, I believe. It's very difficult to over torque it. It just flattens the copper wire. There is a torque spec. I don't know what it is. This is an example of what happens if you over torque the Ecoflow Delta smart home panel. The torque spec on it is like 5 inch-pounds. It's very low. And if you over torque it, it actually shears the copper wire. Alright, as you can see, I got my Ecoflow Delta Pro Ultra back from warranty service. It took about 3 weeks to get it back. It was a little disappointing that Ecoflow didn't send me a new unit. I was able to hook it up and then send the old one back in the box. Unfortunately, that is not how they do it. I understand why. It is a very expensive unit, but another thing with Ecoflow, if you do decide to go this route, you're going to spend a lot of time on the app. Every morning I wake up to check my battery levels, and then I got to be my own power, my own grid operator.